unlimited bomb flowers. This is an amazing trick that even an unskilled player can actually do quite well. I thought it was going to take, split-second timing and all, but it really doesn't. In order to do this, you only need three things. A bokoblin mask, which you can find at the woodland stable. Just look for the brightly colored balloon. You also need a stake and a homing cart. Everything in this video is my first time. I went ahead and recorded everything. And you'll find that I start out pretty slow, but I finally catch on to it. Also, I'm going to point out some mistakes that are easy to make. So we're just going to start out with the hardest thing of all, which is the bomb flowers. There are only 2 locations with backpack bokoblins in the game, and both of them are on Battle Talus. But this is the easiest, and I will show you why. What you need to do is stand on this cliff above the Battle Talus. It's perfect sniping position because nobody will see you, neither the bokoblins or the talus. It'll get up for a while, then it'll sit back down, and they'll just be sitting down there puzzled as to what's happening to them. So it's absolutely ideal. It makes it easy as pie. So now that you destroyed their house, the next thing to do is hop down and let's see who the survivors are. We're only after the bomb flowers. Ideally, we'd only want to do one, but this is my first time, so I thought I'd practice with one and then kill him and continue with the second one. Now this is the next trick. What you need to do after killing these guys off is immediately do a hard save. And then you want to reload from that save. This erases the bokoblin's memory. So when you walk back, all is well as long as you're wearing the bokoblin mask. As I'm sure we've all noticed, working with bokoblins with a mask on, they have a very focused attention. So much so that trying to get them to move around and get in positions that you desire is kind of like herding cats, is the best way I can describe it. Another thing nice about this spot is you have a nice sandy beach, so you won't have grass fires from the bomb arrows. The next thing we need to do is set up the stake and the homing cart. You mount the homing cart upside down, and then when you're ready, you shoot it with an arrow. Of course, you will still somehow, for some reason, have to get the bokoblin's attention. So the easiest way to draw their attention is to run towards the homing cart, but stay out of the range of fire. Once they get started now, they will be so hard focused on it that you can even kill one of them and the other one will not even notice. So since I've never done this before, I'm going to start with the first one. You'll notice they're left-handed, and I generally approach them from the right-hand side. I will try to get the right difference between it showing the bomb flower in his hand and the take button. Pay careful attention to the take button, because that gives you a clue when it's not in his hand and you still see the take. You will start taking bomb flowers from the backpack. And that right now, for instance, he's throwing rocks, so he needs to go. Using the crouching position appears to help. It's really the best stance you can take the first time out. Also, my mistake was I was too far behind, so I start gradually getting closer, paying attention to his hand throw, and when it says bomb flower, and also the take button. And they need to be working in sequence. If the take button is still showing after he's thrown it, that is the secret. You will end up with him throwing rocks as well. This one I get a little better on it, and I start getting the actual cadence, which is really all it is. It's kind of monotonous, but it is a combination of sound and sight along with the buttons. Sometimes there will be a small amount of movement with the bokoblin himself. It just happens in long gameplay such as this. But over time, the right positioning and the combination between the hand and the bomb flower and the take button, becomes second nature. So, feel free to take breaks. You can pause the game at any time. The only thing that will mess it up is a blood moon, where you would have to kill the talus again. But otherwise, you could even travel somewhere and come back. He'll still be there wandering around aimlessly by himself. So, and it also will probably tend to despawn the homing cart and such. But, just take your time. I got up to 950. I'd have stopped at that point. It's really kind of a cadence, really. And once you get in the groove, it'll stay with you for a while until you start getting tired. I even closed my eyes for about 15 throws and got every one of them, just from the sound alone. So by kind of combining the sound along with the sight, you can do pretty good and still not be really that good with your fingers as far as speed and all. It's quite easy. So next, I'm going to show you the locations and the setup for ice fruit, shock fruit, and fire fruit. So I've already gone in and killed all the other enemies, and then I've done the hard save and load, which has erased his memory. So I've done all the preparation. We're good buddies now, and now we're going to do the ice fruit. Now the cart will despawn, with this much intensity after about 30 minutes or so. So you generally will get, depending how good you are, 500 to possibly 700 of the items you need, and then you'll have to replace the homing cart. The stake will still be there, and so it's still good. But, you can always come back. These other sites are easy. You don't have to kill a talus or anything. You can just kind of walk in and get it started again. So I just kind of limited those to around 700. All but the fire fruit. I use a lot of that. So I went ahead and replenished the homing cart and got 999 on it. It's the very last one we'll do is the fire fruit. I found a location that's much easier than having to kill the talus and all that kind of stuff. It's just a simple small camp with a fire fruit bokoblin. Now with this one, I almost messed up. This is my very first time, of course, with a platform type situation. And of course, you know, you really can't get these guys to stand where you want them to stand. So I was kind of tied in there. And I was, once again, I was too far behind him. I needed to be more forward. I had forgotten that, you know, you can kind of have one foot off, almost off the platform and still not fall off and all. But I do get down to one last shock fruit, but I'm able to get up to 700 just with that one by paying attention and being a little more cautious. But you'll see the basket start disappearing before I catch on. One thing that you've probably noticed by now is the viewing angle. You need to get your camera back where you can clearly see the hand and the shock fruit combined with the take button. And they need to be going on when the hand's on it, because otherwise, you know, you'll end up ruining it. This is the final one for the fire fruit. It's an excellent location. The enemies below are not that many. They're easy to defeat. And in this case, you know, he's sitting up there and he didn't even notice. So I don't have to go through a hard save and then a load again. And it's a platform deal as usual, but if I could just get him to recognize the homing cart and not me, I think this is one I have to actually, yes, I have to hop off, run around it once for him to even pay attention. Now, as you can see, he is really hard into it, so nothing will distract him now. It's just a matter of getting the right position. I went ahead, the homing cart did despawn on this one. I decided it was worth it just because it is fire fruit. And went ahead and ran this one all the way up as far as you can go. It took me a while to catch on that I was being kind of pointless there after my inventory was full. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.